Hey everybody, I want to talk about the SimpleEQ class Lite program, and this is a new class that we have where we really modularize the classes and the courses to make it as simple and as concise as possible, so that you can get back to trading right away. So it's a challenge to create classes that actually are a perfect balance between affordability and of course content. And this is what we hope to achieve with the class Lite. We started out, having 6 hours of instructions. Now we have lowered that to as far as 3 hours, because from the feedback from the first group of people in the first couple of months, it seems like at the end of the day, what people really want is, a system that they can go with and deploy that right away. So to, to basically remove some of the things that people have deemed to be excessive or excess, then we basically made sure that we've made a very simple, light, and straightforward class for everybody who wants to take this. And it is very cost effective. Again, it will just be running you under $1,000, and it is just 3 hours, so it's not going to take too much of your time. Notes will be provided, and of course, you get a choice between taking the course with an instructor or going the video route if you don't have time to do so. Okay, so again, who are we? We are full-time traders, and we take on students on a on a availability or on a free time basis. And the class Lite has been so popular both for us and of course for prospective students, because it doesn't take too much of their time, and also it doesn't take too much of our time as well. So it is a class where it's a 3 hours 3 hour intensive class where we go over the techniques, the system, and then of course send you your way after that. You get to keep the notes, and of course the knowledge and all that. We provide a reference guide so that you remember all the things that we cover in class. It is the lightest, and it's a very ambitious curriculum, because we've done away with a lot of the things that people deem to be not as important to their trading, and we always listen very carefully to client and of course student feedback. Okay, so and again, it's a very affordable. Again, less than $1,000 for people who want to learn, whether it's stocks or options or futures or forex. So again, the QRG is there. The quick reference guide is there to help people understand and of course apply the concepts that were learned properly. So again, people who want to learn about how to trade stocks, that's this is perfect opportunity. I think the most recent that I've had was just over a weekend, where we split into 75-minute sessions Saturday and Sunday just to complete that. So that was pretty good. The student was able to apply the concepts within a week or so after the class, and have had actually pretty good success with that. So these are the things that we always monitor, especially with with these very light classes. We always monitor progress of our students to make sure that quality of instruction is preserved, and of course student progress is going in the right direction. So again, there's also people, I've had a chance to teach somebody who already knows how to trade stocks but wanted to learn more about options and how to apply options theory into their trading. So again, that suited their needs in terms of their goals, and that's always something that we're looking forward to. And again, these classes are meant to not be uh, off the shelf type of thing. It is meant to tailor or customize to the student's needs. Meaning, we've had a student come in who said that they know X, Y, and Z, but wanted to know more about A, B, and C. So we were able to at least tailor the curriculum to fill the gaps that they had, rather than go through things that they've already learned, wasting, of course, their time and of course our time as well. So it is effective in that way. Again, with the futures though, the only difference that when you go through the futures light class or the futures simple EQ class, you have to select a category, because futures have there's about 6 or 7 categories of futures. I'm talking about energy futures, I'm talking about metals futures, I'm talking about grain futures, or the indices, or the bond futures. So you can only go through one category because it is impossible to learn how to trade the entire futures group in under 3 hours. You can only learn each category within that time frame. Forex is easy. There are only 6 or 7 major pairs that are easily introduced, and the technique is applicable across the spectrum. So it makes it easier as well. So with what we've seen so far, because this has just been introduced back in July of 2016 this year, we've seen a lot gravitating towards forex and of course options. So as I think more and more people come back from their vacations this fall and winter sessions, I think we'll be able to see more and more people probably test out the other offerings. Okay, so again, you can bundle if you prefer, meaning if you want to do stocks and options instead of paying about 2 grand, we can do a bundle discount to about 1600. So if you have a bundle of two, you'll go to 1600. If you're gonna go to a bundle of four, again, we can bring that cost down as you can see in front of you. So it is something that we are willing to work with the prospective students to make sure that he or she is getting their money's worth. And we also want to make sure that the person we are about to spend 3 or 6 hours with are also very confident in their ability to absorb all of the information in that amount of time. So our class instruction, obviously, unless you are in the vicinity, we deliver it via Cisco WebEx and of course Skype as backup, just in case. The notes will be provided, reference material, and all that. So the great thing about having an instructor is you get to ask questions. You get to ask questions about whatever it is in the topic or about the markets, and anything that's relevant you'll be able to get answers to. Whereas if you watch the video, you won't be able to have that convenience to ask a teacher or an instructor as to why this is doing this, or why so and so is affecting the market. So that's extremely important. So again, the whole class is about 3 hours, the whole course. So you can split this into 3 1-hour sessions or however you like, but I definitely never recommend any student to do a 3 hour session in one go, because A, I think that our brains will be fried, and B, it's just too long. I doubt that past the first hour anything's going to be left, anything's going to be absorbed after that. So it's important to pace yourself, but at the same time also allow yourself to absorb the information without being severely overloaded. Okay, so we do have extensive experience in trading. I myself have had about 11 years now, so it's we do know our stuff and we know how to trade. Again, we are traders first. We educate when we have time. The equity sense is sort of like a hobby, really, rather than actually an occupation. At this point, we provide instructions and of course mentorship to people who are able to come in and want to learn. But we don't. We always our availability is always dependent on market volatility. So if the market is very volatile and we need to spend more time making money on trading, then we usually kind of put the learning or the mentorship in the back seat. But that is the case, that is the way that we operate in our business. So again, we usually, if we prefer, if we could get a group of students together, then even better. I think it encourages healthy competition, and also it allows students to kind of pace each other and really make sure that to check that everybody else is learning how to trade and all that. So we typically don't take more than 5 per group, which is great because it allows us to be able to cater to every student's needs and learn, and also be make the experience more personalized than be in a very 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 big sort of classroom uh, setup where students often feel neglected and they feel like they're just a number rather than a name. So we do have that as well. In addition, again, with these courses, there's always going to be some offerings from month to month, whether there's a promo or something like that. you'll want to always double check our website for any sort of like bonuses for or complimentary services offered together with the classes. I mean, I think in July when we first introduced it, I think we included 3 months worth of subscription, but that was for the $2,000 class, which was about 6 hours. So it all depends on what the promos and discounts are, but you're always more than welcome to check out the website and always look at that. Okay, so I'll run over. I'll run through the questions that we typically get for from these classes, right? So first of all, what kind of an account do I need? So if you're a futures or forex trader, you already know that you must have a margin account. That's no broker in their right minds will ever open will ever open an account, a forex or futures account that is not a margin account. Okay. As for options, the options class, you just need a cash account. That is fine. Margin account, of course, ideal, but a cash account is fine. In a stocks course, as long as you don't plan on short selling, and if you don't even know what short selling is, then you're fine. Cash account again is okay. Um, Short selling is the act of selling high and buying it back low. So you'll need a margin account for that. Anytime you do short selling, whether it's in the option side or in the stock side, you'll need a margin account. So in a usual, I've never run into a case where I've had a student who who was having a hard time trying to trying to work his account properly. So cash accounts are fine for stocks and options. For the futures and forex, of course, when you open that account, whether it's with IG or FXCM or Interactive Brokers, or if you're in America, TD Ameritrade, it will always be a margin account, and you can do all sorts of wonderful things when you open a margin account. Okay, so that's really it for class Lite. That's really the main question that we get. I mean, the other question, of course, is um, after the class, how fast can I be able to apply the techniques learned? Again, immediately if you want. It's I mean, in terms of when you get taught something, you have to give it some time to kind of sink in and practice it a bit. So typically there's going to be things that of course we advise students during the class, and you try this first in the beginning, try slow, and just gradually work your positions up and your trade size and all that. So everything that you need to learn to be able to trade effectively will be taught in class. And again, this has been a very, very popular offering this year from a lot of students because, of course, it's more affordable than the other classes that we have. I mean, we do have the more comprehensive class, the foundations class, and the trader classes, but this one is a good compromise for people who are probably thinking about being traders but don't want to spend too much to kind of see what it really takes. So this really gives you a glimpse of what you really need to be to do to actually be a good trader in the market. All right, so I want to thank you for taking the time. This is Mike. Have a wonderful day wherever you are, and take care.